Hi, welcome back to That's Entertainment, the weekly entertainment show where we look at all the interesting news from last week this week. This week we're looking at various news reports and pieces of research published recently to see what they have to tell us about the state of the streaming video today, almost 20 months after the start of the COVID pandemic. According to Hub Entertainment Research, key pandemic TV watching habits are here to stay, with founder John Guinak saying, "The pandemic has fundamentally changed the way that people watch premium video content, especially movies. When theaters were closed, they invested in platforms and devices to which first run movies at home. When things open up, many of those habits will remain. That genie will not go back into the bottle." As Rapid TV News noted, with cinemas closed down and consumers having more time to fill, viewership of premium VOD films still in cinemas surged in July of 2020. And by June of 2021, this number had risen to a third. In addition, there was a noticeable rush to smart devices, especially big screens. Almost 40% of those with a smart TV said that they had bought it during the pandemic, and that is during 2020 or 2021. Disney's annual report filed on November 24th confirmed that the studio benefited from this growth in PVOD viewers, with the media player news highlighting that Disney's Premier Access PPV revenue jumped by 70% to almost $933 million in 2021. In the filing, Disney said it had generated $933 million in the revenue from the combined PVOD sales of Black Widow, Cruella, Jungle Cruise, and Raya the Last Dragon, in addition to 13 UFC pay-per-view bouts on ESPN+. That was 70% higher revenue than the $550 million generated from the Premier Access debut of Mulan and 11 PPV UFC fights in the prior fiscal year. As we all know, the SVOD market has been booming also during this two-year period, and it seems that the subscriptions to streaming services are also driven by various high-profile titles. According to the Hub Entertainment Research, once again, 40% of consumers signed up to the SVOD service to watch a specific show in 2021, up from 36% in 2020. And it seems those shows are succeeding in creating new long-term customers, with 77% of the new viewers sticking with that streaming service after they've watched the show that they've chosen. Okay, so this goes back to the idea that new habits have been formed, with the studios investing in their own platforms. One of the key things that really has to be overcome in this concept of revenue is this is repeat recurring revenue to the value of a cinema ticket, more or less in most markets, per month. And with the release of this premium window for both subscription and PVOD services, we're going to see the likely continuation of major studios investing in this format for launches. What's also interesting, as we keep on saying, is with the advent of these high-quality films that are ready for being copied, we're also seeing piracy numbers spiking, with latest research from Muso indicating that every time a major film becomes available on these platforms, they're immediately ripped and distributed through the pirate and torrent networks. Celia Fumanal, Marketing and Data Strategist Director at the film agency, picked up on some research from Whip Media undertaken for VIP Plus that also highlights the importance of those big shows playing in keeping subscribers on board. According to her analysis, since its launch in 2019, Disney Plus has been holding the winning hand by owning Marvel. The audience has an appetite for superheroes. And 55% respondents said that the Marvel TV series are a significant reason why they subscribe to Disney Plus, while almost 9% said that the series are the sole reason they subscribe to the streaming service. Again, going back to the idea that having a great lineup of kids-orientated content is very, very important for the future business models of VOD services. The growing popularity of such genre titles for streaming is shown in IMDb's top 10 TV shows and film charts for the year, with both charts made up almost entirely of titles available on SVOD platforms. As Media Player News reported, the Amazon-owned database determines its list of the most popular movies and TV shows by the actual page views of more than 200 million monthly visitors to their platform. This data is derived from the IMDb Pro and movie and TV rankings, which are updated weekly throughout the year. Of the top 10 films of the year, it's interesting to note that 9 can be seen as genre titles. All are based on existing IP, with 5 comic book adaptations. All are now available on subscription streaming platforms. 6 debuted simultaneously in cinemas and on streaming platforms, and 2 debuted exclusively on streaming platforms. Of the top 10 shows of the year, it's interesting to note that 7 can be seen as genre titles. 7 are based on existing IP, including 5 comic book adaptations. 5 were released in weekly installments. 5 saw all episodes dropped at once. and 9 was shown exclusively on subscription streaming platforms, with just 1 debuting on cable TV. This week, a report from fandom.com, a platform that fans can immerse themselves in their favorite shows, movies, and games, further reinforced the importance of this sticky, fan-friendly content to streamers. 72% of fans said while total time with entertainment is down, they still make up time for the entertainment and games they care about the most. 56% spend less time aimlessly scrolling for something to watch, and 49% spend less time leaving the TV on as background noise. Last week, we reported how the decision by the likes of Disney+, Amazon Prime Video, and on occasions Netflix to release shows weekly can have a positive effect on growing their audience. The fandom report suggested that the weekly release schedule of genre shows is responsible for something else, the return of appointment TV viewing. And this idea of tuning in just goes to show that the more we change, the more things stay the same. There was a 34% increase in consumers who said that they were watching shows and films or playing games as soon as they are released to avoid spoilers compared to a year ago. So what are your thoughts on this? Are you someone who joined a streaming service to watch a particular show? Are you spending the majority of your time on SVOD platforms seeking out brand new shows or shows adapted from existing IP? Or are you won over by a streamer's extensive back catalogue? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for this week. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe in the sections below, and we'll look forward to talking to you again next week. Goodbye.